we're gonna be reacting to the creepy daughter school lockdown incident.
Growing up in a tiny community like mine, you hear about all this crazy stuff on the news, these massacres and tragedies day after day. But
Oh yeah, sorry guys, I don't have YouTube Premium. Yeah, there's that.
Whoa. What's that? I just put the budgeting app in base 44. Guys.
Not sponsored, by the way.
There's rumor building. Lock the door and turn off all lights. Lock down.
about all this crazy stuff on the news, these massacres and tragedies day after day. But you think that'll never happen here. A day came that not one of us will ever forget. I was in school watching the minutes go by, waiting until I could finally go home. I excused myself from class to go to the bathroom, but I didn't really have to go. I just wanted to look at my phone for a few minutes without the risk of it getting confiscated. Luckily, the girls' room was completely empty. I took the stall, second from the end. While scrolling through Snapchat, I tapped through a bunch of people's stories, but one person had quite a few more posts than anybody else. They were absent that day, and whenever they stayed home from school,
Why does that guy have a Glock? Oh my. Did your schools ever have like shutdowns or like ever had like a school shooting? Put it down in the comments.
which was quite often, they always did a bunch of schizo posting. Growing up, their name was Jessie, until they came out as transgender and started going by the name Jennifer. I changed their name on Snapchat, but
Why does he have blood? Why does he have blood?
otherwise, I didn't really care. I wasn't friends with them, just acquaintances because everybody knew everybody. What matters is, completely regardless of their gender, Jennifer was a nutcase. They were crazy before transitioning, and they were just as unpopular afterwards. After being on my phone for a few minutes, I decided to finish up before my teacher got suspicious.
Ayo.
Just as I was
Whoa,
starting
whoa,
to finally
whoa.
piss,
Ayo.
someone walked into the bathroom. I couldn't tell if they were a teacher or a student. They were being oddly quiet. It sounded like they went into a stall, but I didn't hear it close or anything like that. Of course, I had no reason to be overly cautious, so I wrapped up and exited the stall. Right as I walked out of it, a loud sound started reverberating through the bathroom. Someone had started pissing. Then I took another couple steps and passed by a stall I thought was empty. But even though the
Let me be honest. Are you guys' are your guys' school bathrooms big? Cause mine isn't.
door was open, it was absolutely occupied. I saw none other than Jennifer pissing while standing up in full view. It took
Okay,
everything I had to
TMI.
not stop and stare in shock. I forced myself to continue to the sink and wash my hands. Jennifer had enough time to finish her business at the toilet and started washing her
TMI.
hands in the sink next to mine. That's when I saw the blood, a shocking amount of it, all over her. My hands froze under the tap. It
Bro,
didn't take long for Jennifer.
So let's put this like metaphorically. Okay, you're about to wash your hands. There's this guy next to you that has blood all over him. What are you gonna do? Just stare at him? No, just run.
Catch me staring either. She then looked directly in my eye, a sickening smirk on her face. I couldn't tell what was going through her head. When Jennifer turned off the faucet, she also reached over to shut off my sink as well. This action brought her close to my face, close enough for me to smell the pungent sweat in her pits. That, and the distinct metallic stench of blood. It wasn't paint, and she hadn't gotten all of it off yet. When she whispered to me, I knew there was no right answer. Every word was sealing my fate. What are you staring at, princess?
Nothing. I don't have a problem with you being in here, I swear.
Really? Don't
Whoa.
tell me you're not used to the sight of blood.
It's not that. I'm not used to people using the bathroom with the door open. That's all.
Did I forget to close it? Man, my bad. I was just practicing my aim. How would you like to help me with target practice? A chill ran through
Holy, that just weird.
my body. Regardless of what she meant, I wasn't sticking around to find out. I immediately turned around and ran. I sprinted down the hallway, not looking back until I was at the stairwell. My plan was to just make sure that she didn't follow me back to my class, maybe double back across the second floor. But then I saw her, not running, but just then exiting the bathroom. She looked at me across the distance with a look on her face.
Bro has a Glock? How did he get that? Well, I meant she get that.
I'll never forget. Then she crossed the hall and entered the classroom I came from. A moment later, the shots started. I was no hero. Any chance I might have had to warn people was long gone, and doing so might have gotten me killed anyway. I saw my exit, and I took it. By the time the massacre was over, she had killed 8 people. The first 2 were at her
Ew.
house. The blood I saw her washing from her hands belonged to them. Then she came to school and killed 6 more before taking the easy way out. Like a coward, she made sure she would never stand trial, never face justice for what she did, if she even had any. All we know is that our town will never be the same, and I can't stop thinking about how close I came to being one of her victims.
That is
This story
scary.
was inspired by a horrific incident regarding a teenage suspect involved in a mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge. Police say the 18-year-old suspect was Jesse Van Rootseller, who was found dead on the scene, took out 8 people, and then doing the unthinkable to themselves. The suspect had been the subject of a number of police visits in recent years because of mental health issues, and used to have a firearms license. It is unclear who owned the firearms used in the attack, or what the motive was. 5 students and a teacher were taken out, and at least 25 others were injured at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. 2 others, the suspect's mother and stepbrother, were found dead at a nearby home when the attack began. Van Rootselar was born a biological male, but identified as a female. A 2021 Facebook post from the suspect's mother, Jennifer Strang, described how the teenager was infatuated with firearms.
That one actually gave me chills, guys.
Stop and savor the
Sorry,
sweet
guys.
moments.
Holy yeah, not
That's
sponsored, by the way.
When my son began attending public school, I was finally able to return to work full-time thanks to him taking the school bus. Of course, I expected starting school to be a big adjustment for him. He was more upset about going to school than ever. At first, I worried that the other kids were bullying him. I asked him if that was the case, but he said no. For a while there, I could tell he was genuinely scared. I decided to go to a
Sorry,
few
guys.
parent-teacher conferences to suss out if it was his teacher or the principal that were responsible. His teacher and everyone else I met at the school turned out to be the nicest people I could have asked for. They were not the problem. Sadly, as this went on for weeks and weeks, my son became a bit of a problem himself. Initially, I got annoyed. I even lashed out at him for being a brat. Turns out, the doctor could not give a conclusive diagnosis. She suggested the problems with him still had a source, something definitive and external, not internal. And if that source was something he refused to talk about, I would need to figure it out myself. But one night, my son did something different. He came into my room at 5 in the morning. He must not have slept at all. I was just waking up, minutes before my alarm. He stood in my doorway and stared at me for a while before coming up to the bed. Mommy, Mom,
Why are you out of bed?
can you take me to school today?
You know I can't, baby. I have to go to work.
Please.
No, just go back to sleep for now.
It's your fault then.
What?
The last thing he said caught me off guard. He had already walked out of the room before it registered. I got up and checked on him right after. He was lying in bed, staring straight up at the ceiling. He refused to talk to me. I wanted to give in and drive him to school, but I didn't want to make a habit of it. Instead, I had a different idea. I finally had some insight as to what was causing his problems, or
Oh, sorry guys. I keep on pausing it for no reason. Sorry guys.
at least
Last
where
time.
and when it was happening. The school bus. I remembered it being a scary place as a little kid, but I had to think of a way to get a view inside without anyone knowing. Within a few days, I had everything assembled. I gave my son an early birthday present, a brand new lunchbox. I made sure he saw that it was packed full of sweets. That way, he wouldn't even notice the slightly oversized name tag clipped on the handle. It was a hidden camera. Whatever was going on, it would show me. The next day, I sent him off to school, having to force him to get on the bus as always, hopefully for the last time. At the end of the day, I took the camera and plugged it in to review the footage. Bye! Have a good afternoon! Do your homework! Come back soon! Finally, that's the last of them. Now it's just you and me. This is my favorite part of the day. Isn't it yours? Still tight-lipped, huh? Nothing wrong with that. You look really handsome today. Mind if I take a picture? I said smile! That's better. That'll be the money shot soon. But I guess I have to take you home for now. Hey, you know what? It's Friday. You've been at school all week. I've been working all week. Why don't we get more comfortable? Come on up here and sit on your bus driver's lap. I don't want to... Oh, don't be a tease. It's just for a few minutes. Someday, you'll learn it's easier when you just do what you're told. The whole time, it was the bus driver. I never thought my son being the first kid on the bus in the mornings and the last one off at the end of the day would ever be a problem, would ever put him through something so horrible. I wanted to throw up. I knew that footage was only scratching the surface of all the things that detestable bus driver was doing to my son. I reported him to the school and had him arrested immediately, which in turn revealed the extent of his sickness. On the internet, he was a downright prolific consumer and trader of explicit materials to countless other offenders like him. Much of that material was gathered right from the school bus he drove every single day. I wish I had found out about this and put a stop to it from the very beginning. I dread to find out how much my son suffered. A Caldwell school bus driver accused of possessing and distributing underage content is now facing...
I mean, that's not right. I'm kidding. But, imagine the trauma that it had on the kid. That's crazy.
10 felony counts. Jeremy Wakely, 42, appeared in court Wednesday morning. Each count carries a potential sentence of up to 30 years in prison if Wakely is convicted. Wakely was first arrested in January after investigators traced the download of the distributing suspected material to an internet address at a home on East Linden Street in Caldwell.
You know what he reminds me of? You know the guy from Minions? Gru.
Investigators later executed a search warrant at the home, where Wakely allegedly admitted to using the messaging app Telegram to exchange explicit images and videos online, and acknowledged he knew the activity was illegal. During the investigation, authorities say they recovered roughly 2,500 files from Wakely's cell phone and from a USB drive connected to a laptop found in a bedroom he said belonged to him. Authorities have previously said there is no evidence of local victims connected to the case at this time.
Why would people honestly do that? Okay, guys. That's it for that today's video. See you guys in the next time. Bye.